Your home is filled with wireless tech from 2024, but the government safety limits for EMF exposure haven't been updated since 1996. That's before smartphones, before Wi-Fi, before Bluetooth, smart fridges, Apple Watches, Alexa, and always listening devices. In other words, your family is living in an invisible radiation field, using safety guidelines made for flip phones. Let that sink in. And yet every device you plug in, every router, speaker, smart meter, smart light, thermostat, and appliance emits constant EMFs 24 hours a day. You're not just surrounded, you're being saturated, and it's not harmless. Studies show EMFs can disrupt your heart rhythm, raise your cortisol, impair sleep and hormone balance, and cause chronic cellular stress that builds over time. But no one's talking about this. Not the media, not your doctor, and definitely not the billion-dollar tech companies. They say it's safe, but they said the same thing about lead paint, asbestos, and cigarettes. The question is, will you wait to be told the truth or protect your home now? Because there's finally a way to shield your entire house from this modern-day threat, and it only takes minutes to set up. Hi, I'm Natalie Rhodes, and if you've been feeling tired all the time, if you wake up with brain fog, tension headaches, or that wired but exhausted feeling that never goes away, I need you to hear me right now. It's not in your head, and it's not just getting older. I used to think I was just overwhelmed, that life was hectic, hormones were changing, maybe I needed more supplements, less sugar, better boundaries, but no matter what I tried, nothing helped. I was exhausted every morning, anxious for no reason, and constantly forgetting little things that used to be second nature. Even worse, my sleep was broken. I'd lie awake at 2 a.m. with my heart racing, feeling like something was off, but I couldn't explain it. And then one day, I asked myself a simple question. Why do I only feel like this at home? That's when it hit me. I wasn't reacting to stress or food or even emotions. I was reacting to something in my environment, something invisible but very real. Something that was always on, always pulsing, always stimulating my body in ways I couldn't control or turn off. And the more I dug into it, the more terrifying and infuriating it became. The truth is, I almost missed it too. Because at first, it's subtle. You feel a little more tired than usual. You forget words mid-sentence. You wake up groggy. Even if you went to bed early, your focus slips. You snap at people you love. You can't relax even when you want to. So what do? You blame your diet. You cut sugar. You try supplements. You install meditation apps, stop scrolling after 9 p.m., buy blackout curtains. But nothing changes. Then the sleep problems start. The tension headaches. The heart palpitations out of nowhere, the chronic fatigue your doctor can't explain, and everyone around you says the same thing. It's just stress. It's your hormones. You're getting older, but deep down, something doesn't add up because this level of exhaustion, wired, overwhelmed, can't think straight kind of tired, that's not aging, that's interference. And the real reason you're feeling so off isn't because of what you're eating or what you're thinking. It's because of something in your environment that's affecting your body on a cellular level, something that's all around you right now. And worse, it's been there the whole time. What I uncovered next genuinely shocked me. We've all heard about EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies, but most of us dismiss them like background noise, something harmless, just part of life with tech. But here's what science now shows, and what you'll never hear from the companies putting these devices in your home. 1. EMFs spike cortisol and suppress melatonin. In a 2016 peer-reviewed study, researchers found that low-level EMF exposure raised cortisol levels, your primary stress hormone, by as much as 60% during sleep hours. That means even if you think you're resting, your body is in fight-or-flight mode all night long. Another study, published in the Journal of Pineal Research, found that EMF fields directly suppress melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycles and supports immune function. No melatonin, no deep sleep. No deep sleep, impaired memory, mood, weight regulation, and mental clarity. 2. EMFs trigger oxidative stress and cellular inflammation. In 2018, the U.S. National Toxicology Program, NTP, released a $30 million study showing that extended exposure to EMFs caused biological changes at the cellular level in rats, including DNA damage and oxidative stress. Oxidative stress isn't just a buzzword. It's a root driver of brain fog, premature aging, insulin resistance, and chronic fatigue. It's the same biological stress that weakens your immune system and ages your body from the inside out. 3. EMFs disrupt voltage-gated calcium channels in the body. These channels are critical for communication between your brain and your body. When they're overstimulated, like under constant EMF exposure, you get everything from headaches, mood swings, and sleep disorders to hormonal imbalance. Dr. Martin Paul, a biochemist and molecular researcher at Washington State University, has gone on record saying that EMF exposure could be one of the most significant biological stressors of our time. But here's the most disturbing part. You're not being exposed in one spot. You're being exposed everywhere. Every room, every outlet, every smart device. And unlike sunlight or even processed food, you don't get a break from it. Not while sleeping, not while relaxing, not while trying to recover from an illness or catch your breath from life. Your nervous system never gets to shut off. That's why you might feel constantly wired, overwhelmed, anxious, irritable, or emotionally flat. It's not just stress or burnout. It's a nervous system stuck in overdrive because your body is reacting to an environmental frequency it was never designed to handle. If all of this sounds shocking, it should. But what's even more shocking is how little you've heard about it. Because despite peer-reviewed studies warning about the biological impacts of EMFs, Western medicine continues to stay silent. Most doctors don't mention it. They don't test for it. And they rarely, if ever, acknowledge that your symptoms, insomnia, anxiety, fatigue, hormonal shifts, headaches, could be linked to your tech environment. Why? Because they're trained to treat symptoms, not causes. They're handed a playbook written by pharmaceutical reps, not environmental scientists. Even holistic practitioners are often behind the curve on EMFs. They'll recommend sleep hygiene tips, detox plans, adaptogens, and blue light filters, but never once ask you where your Wi-Fi router is located or whether you have a smart meter attached to your home. And then there's the government. The FCC's official safety limits for EMF exposure haven't been updated since 1996. That's before Wi-Fi, before smartphones, before homes were packed with Bluetooth, 5G, and always-on tech. The safety studies they still reference were based on a single 6-foot-tall man holding a phone to his head for minutes. That's it. No accounting for children, no consideration for 24/7 home exposure, no recognition of cumulative radiation from dozens of smart devices pulsing through every room of your house. And when concerned researchers and EMF experts try to raise the alarm, they're labeled fringe or fearmongers. Why? Because the wireless industry is worth over $1.1 trillion globally. And just like big tobacco, big tech has no interest in disrupting the illusion of safety. They'll say, there's no conclusive evidence of harm. But what they won't say is, the absence of conclusive evidence isn't the same as proof of safety. And meanwhile, we're all swimming in a sea of signals. Signals that science says may be behind the modern explosion in sleep disorders, chronic fatigue, hormonal imbalance, and neurological issues. So if you're waiting for an official warning, don't, because it's not coming. It all came to a head one night. I had turned off my phone and closed all the apps. I wore blue light glasses and I drank my magnesium tea. I did everything right. But there I was again, wide awake at 3 a.m., chest tight, heart racing, brain fog rolling in like a storm cloud. And suddenly, it hit me. I don't feel safe in my own home anymore. That one thought shattered me. Because your home is supposed to be your sanctuary, where you heal, where you rest, where you recover from the outside world. But what if the outside world isn't the problem? What if the real threat is inside your walls? I started walking through my house that night like I was seeing it for the first time. My Wi-Fi router glowing silently in the living room, the iPad charging on the kitchen counter, Bluetooth speakers in the bedroom, a baby monitor pulsing above my child's crib, smart lights, smart TVs, smart thermostats, all humming with radiation I couldn't see, touch, or hear. And suddenly, I understood why nothing I had tried had worked. I wasn't just tired. I wasn't just stressed. I was under constant biological pressure. And so was my husband. And so were my kids. And for the first time in my life, I felt like I was living inside a slow-motion health crisis I couldn't escape. That was my breaking point. That was the night I said, I have to find something that protects us. Not just me, but the entire house. Every room, every body, every moment. And what I found next changed everything. After that night, I stopped looking for another supplement or sleep hack. I started looking at my environment like an investigator. And what I found shocked me more than anything. EMFs weren't just something coming from my phone or laptop. They were being emitted from nearly every corner of my house. Router, smart meter, Bluetooth devices, smart speakers, even my fridge. More importantly, I wasn't the only one noticing the effects. There are now clinical and observational reports from people who experience everything from migraines and tinnitus to anxiety, insomnia, and hormonal dysregulation after prolonged EMF exposure. And while the mainstream still avoids the topic, a quiet but growing group of doctors, researchers, and engineers are finally speaking out. That's how I discovered something I had never heard of before. Not a wearable, not a supplement, not a sleep gadget. but a full-spectrum system, designed not to block one device, but to shield an entire home. No radiation suits, no tinfoil walls, no unplugging from modern life. This was a real, elegant, science-based way to neutralize EMF radiation at the source, without changing how we live or giving up the tools we rely on every day. It's called the EMF Shield Whole Home Protection System, and when I saw how it worked, and who created it, I ordered it immediately, because for the first time, I saw a way out of the chaos, without disconnecting from the world. A way to reclaim peace inside our walls, without sacrificing the convenience that modern life demands. What happened next was undeniable. After months of research, I stopped chasing symptoms and focused on one question. What would it take to actually protect my living space from EMF exposure, without tearing up my walls, ditching my tech, or installing some expensive industrial-grade solution? That's when I discovered the EMF Shield Whole Home Protection System. It's a home-integrated shielding system designed to do one thing exceptionally well: reduce and neutralize harmful EMF radiation inside your home, quickly, discreetly, and without disrupting your lifestyle. Each kit is engineered with precision-placed shielding components that install easily on key EMF points: fuse boxes, Wi-Fi routers, outlet hubs, and exterior walls. You don't need tools, you don't need batteries, and you don't need to disconnect from modern life to make it work. Instead, you place the shielding units where your home is most vulnerable to high-frequency radiation, and the system begins working immediately. What makes it effective isn't just placement, it's the technology behind the shielding. Each unit is designed to reduce EMF intensity at critical junctions inside your home, limit penetration from outside radiation sources, like neighbors' routers or nearby towers, support the restoration of natural ionic balance in your environment, which plays a vital role in how your nervous system functions. The result? Your living space becomes less reactive, your sleep becomes deeper, your stress levels drop, and the entire home begins to feel more neutral, more like the sanctuary it's supposed to be. There are 3 system sizes depending on your square footage and device density. V2000 kit, ideal for apartments and smaller homes, under 2,000 square feet. V5000 kit, for larger homes, families, and high-tech environments. V20,000 kit, for large properties, multi-level residences, or offices with dense tech exposure. The system is easy to apply, non-damaging to surfaces, and fully removable if needed. Perfect for renters, travelers, or anyone wanting long-term flexibility. And importantly, it doesn't interfere with your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or other wireless signals. Everything continues to function normally. Only now, your environment becomes biologically calmer and energetically safer. And here's the part that surprised me most. I wasn't the only one going through this. After I installed the EMF Shield system in my own home, I started talking about it, quietly at first, just to a few friends. But suddenly, everyone had a story. One woman I spoke to, Sheila, a college student, told me she had been getting daily headaches for months. She was on her phone all day, lectures, messages, calls, and thought it was just eye strain or stress. Turns out, it was radiation. She installed the system in her dorm, and her headaches disappeared in days. Then there was Lorenz. He's an engineer, works from home, smart guy. He thought waking up groggy, tossing and turning all night was just life. But once he applied the shields near his router and fuse box, he started sleeping through the night again. Even his wife said the entire house felt different, calmer, more balanced. They added extra units near the microwave and fridge just to be safe. And then there was Mike. His story hit me the hardest. He'd been struggling with anxiety and depression for years. Doctors, prescriptions, therapy. He'd tried it all, but nothing seemed to stick. Until one day, his psychologist mentioned EMFs. He installed the EMF Shield system as a long shot. Didn't expect anything. And then something shifted. His sleep improved. His racing thoughts slowed. The crushing emotional weight he carried lifted. Just a bit. He said to me, "I'm not saying it fixed everything, but I finally feel like I can breathe in my own home again." And honestly, that's exactly how I felt too. When I first set up the system, I didn't expect dramatic results. But within the first 48 hours, things started to change. Not in a loud, flashy way, but in that quiet, something feels different kind of way. I didn't wake up groggy. I didn't feel that pressure in my chest that had become normal. I wasn't snapping at my family over nothing. And for the first time in months, I woke up feeling rested. Here's what most people notice when their environment finally gets back in balance: deeper, more restorative sleep. When your body isn't fending off external stimulation all night, it can finally shift into deep wave sleep. That means fewer night wakings, less tossing, and more mornings where you actually feel refreshed. Clearer thinking, less fog. That sluggish mind feeling, the inability to focus or finish a thought, It often fades within days because the nervous system is no longer overloaded. People describe it as the lights came back on in my brain. Less tension and emotional volatility. EMFs can keep your body in a low-grade fight-or-flight state. Once you remove the source, your system recalibrates. Anxiety softens. Emotional resilience returns. Your baseline becomes calmer. Your home starts to feel like a place of restoration, not stimulation. It's hard to explain, but everyone says the same thing. It just feels better in here now. There's a difference between a home full of devices and a home where your body can rest, think, and recover without interference. And it's not just about you. Your kids feel it. Your pets feel it. Your whole household shifts. You don't need to give up your tech. You just need to shield yourself from the biological chaos it quietly creates. At this point, most people ask the same question. What's the right setup for my space? The EMF shield system was designed with that in mind, because homes aren't one size fits all, and neither is radiation exposure. Some of us live in compact apartments surrounded by other people's routers, smart TVs, and Bluetooth signals bleeding through the walls. Others are in family homes filled with tech, kitchens packed with smart appliances, offices loaded with laptops, phones charging in every bedroom. And then there are larger properties, multi-story homes or high-density urban spaces where exposure is amplified simply by volume. That's why the system comes in 3 targeted protection levels. V200 kit, ideal for apartments or homes under 2,000 square feet. This kit includes everything you need to shield smaller spaces efficiently. It's compact, simple to install, and offers excellent coverage for those living alone, in smaller households, or in tech-light environments. Most users place the large unit at the fuse box or Wi-Fi hub, and smaller units near exterior walls and outlet clusters. V5000 kit, built for the average modern family home. If you live in a home over 2,000 square feet, or have several people using devices in different rooms, this is the setup I recommend. With 2 central shielding hubs and 12 smaller units, it covers bedrooms, high-traffic areas, and major radiation points like kitchens and home offices. Many families say this kit gives them peace of mind knowing every room has intelligent EMF protection in place. V20000 kit. Maximum coverage for larger homes and tech-heavy environments. This is the full-scale defense system, designed for big properties, multiple floors, or high-exposure zones. 10 large shielding units, 60 precision-placed components. It's also the ideal option if you want protection across multiple dwellings, like your home and a workspace, or if you want to send extras to family members. Every kit ships directly from our US warehouse. You'll get detailed placement guidance, and most homes are fully set up in under 30 minutes. And here's something I wish more companies offered. You can move this system with you. If you relocate, they come too. No tech crew, no tools. Just intelligent protection wherever life takes you. By now, you might be wondering, what if I try this and don't feel a difference? That's a fair question. In fact, it's one of the first I asked. Because this isn't just a new product. It's a new idea for most people, an invisible solution to an invisible problem. And we understand that, which is why the EMF Shield Whole Home System comes with a full 180-day guarantee. Not 30, not 60. 6 full months to set it up. Live with it. Observe how your body feels. And decide for yourself. If you don't notice a change, better sleep, clearer thinking, a calmer atmosphere in your space, just let us know. You'll get a full refund. No questions asked. No hoops to jump through. We call it our Feel It or It's Free guarantee, because if it doesn't make a difference, you shouldn't have to pay for it. But for most people, the difference is not just noticeable, it's life-changing. Right now, most people are living in more EMF exposure than they realize. More tech, more signals, more radiation flooding into our homes. And while this may not feel urgent on the outside, your body knows better. The stress, the fatigue, the agitation that doesn't go away. That's your nervous system waving a flag. It's not just noise, it's a signal. And the longer it goes unaddressed, the more normalized it becomes, until burnout, sleeplessness, and brain fog feel like just part of modern life. But it doesn't have to be. And now that you know what's behind it, you can do something about it. If you're ready to restore calm inside your home, to sleep deeper, feel clearer, and stop absorbing stress signals your body was never designed to handle, now is the time. Choose the right level of protection for your home. We'll ship it directly from our US warehouse. Fast, tracked, and ready to install the moment it arrives. Give your body the break it's been asking for. Give your family a space that supports them, not one that drains them. Click below to select your system now. Feel it for yourself. And finally, turn your home into what it was always meant to be. A place of rest, of clarity, of protection.